What's up, guys? It's Justin, and today we are talking about one of the most important things in the entire world, and that would be investing. Yes, I know that I'm typically talking about side hustles and going out and trying to make money, but the harsh reality is that going out and just making money is not enough. What you do with your money after you make it is actually way more important than how much money you make. So I'm going to let you guys know exactly what you can do to set yourself up for financial success off of just an extra $100 a week. Seriously, that doesn't sound like a lot, but you can actually retire off of that little amount of money if you play your cards right. So strap in, because I have some really interesting graphs to show you, and if you haven't started investing in the market yet, well, this should get you going. All right, what I have pulled up here is called a compound interest calculator. Essentially what it shows us is how much money we would end up with if we invested a certain amount of money each month for a certain amount of time and got a certain interest rate. I know that's a lot of certainties, but I can certainly tell you that this thing works. So let's say that you were able to invest $400 a month. When you break it down, that's actually less than even $100 a week. And if you have a side hustle that's making you $20 an hour, which is very doable, you can check out some of the other videos on my channel to see those side hustles. Well, that comes down to only 5 hours a week, or an extra hour every single weekday of work, to be able to achieve this. If you really are serious about your financial future, then that shouldn't be too much a price to pay. So let's say we're doing $400 a month here. Now, I'm 23, and typically people talk about retiring at the age of 65, which puts me 42 years away from that. Now, if you're older than me, or you want to retire earlier than 65, well, you have less than 42 years to do that. However, this math still works. It's just not quite the same, and you can absolutely plug your numbers in specifically to find out how much money you would make. So we have $400 a month for the next 42 years, and the important part here is how much we're going to actually get as a return on our money. Now, historically speaking, a 9% return isn't a completely unreasonable thing to expect as far as a return from the stock market goes. So if we were to plug all of these numbers in, I think it's going to blow your mind, because $400 a month invested every single month like clockwork for the next 42 years, receiving a 9% interest rate, would give me, at the age of 65, $1.9 million. Enough to retire off of. $100 a week turned into $1.9 million. And the important thing to note here is that the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest, did most of the work here, because when you break it down, I didn't invest $1.9 million of my own money. I actually only invested $200,000 myself, and the remaining $1.7 million was done completely passively, just through the growth of the stock market, just through that 9% return. Now, if that doesn't get you absolutely pumped, I really don't know what will. But I also have something that could be kind of concerning on the flip side of that I think you deserve to see. Inflation is obviously the talk of the town right now. It's incredibly high at this point, but historically speaking, again, you can expect to see about a 2% inflation rate, which means that every single year your money will be worth 2% less than what it was last year. You'll have 2% less purchasing power. So if you could buy 100 Big Macs last year, you're only getting 98 this year. I am so sorry to you. Also, get to the gym. So let's take that 201,000 that we would supposedly have 42 years from now if all we did was put our $100 a week away and didn't do anything else. We didn't actually invest it. We just stashed it under our bed. Well, after just 10 years, $201,000 at a 2% inflation rate only has $165,000 worth of purchasing power. So we've already lost a ton of money in those first 10 years. But extrapolate that out over 42 years, and at a 2% inflation rate, 42 years later, $201,000 can only buy you $87,500 worth of today's stuff. So if $87,500 sounds like a lot, that's great, but you have to realize it's not going to be the same as having $201,000 in today's money. So you're not just missing out on the returns of the stock market. By not investing, you are actually, I hate to say it, losing money. Now, this should have you wanting to invest like today. In fact, the most important thing you can do is start as early as possible, because time is on your side when it comes to investing, and doing this long term is the most important thing. So up to this point, all I've done is show you math, but what I'm about to tell you is incredibly important, and it is a little bit of my own financial opinion. So you have to realize that this is not financial advice. This is purely entertainment. All I'm doing is coming out here and giving you guys my 2 cents. You shouldn't do anything with this. Just treat this this as entertainment. Okay, with that out of the way, people commonly think that investing is really difficult. They think that you have to be some great stock picker and know which company is going to go up, which company is going to go down, which companies have the best financial technical factors. Now, I'm telling you, it is not that hard. You do not need to invest in individual stocks. You can simply invest into broad index funds, things that don't carry nearly as much risk as individual stocks, and have you incredibly diversified with one single purchase. For me, I really prefer the Vanguard funds because they have incredibly low expense ratios, which essentially means that you are getting to keep almost every single bit of your returns because you aren't paying very much to be invested in that fund. Things like VTI or VOO are really great things to invest in because they keep you, again, incredibly diversified over either the entire US stock market as a whole or the S&P 500, things where you are at much lower risk than going and betting that Tesla is going to be going up in the next 2 weeks. And just like people think that picking stocks is hard, they think that the process of actually investing is also hard, but I can tell you right now, it could not be simpler. You can hop onto almost any platform these days and trade for little to no fees. I do mine on Robinhood because, again, they don't charge any fees to invest, so every single dollar I put in there goes straight into my portfolio, which is phenomenal. Now, if you're interested in getting started on Robinhood, I have a link down in the description, and it's a really good one because you and I are both going to get a stock worth up to $200 if you sign up through that link. So go ahead, if you're thinking about getting started investing, you can get one individual stock. You're going to want to put some other money in there, but that one individual stock could be worth up to $200. So go sign up. The link is in the description. Now, I hope this has been clear to you. I'm not here to scare you. I'm not here to make you concerned, but I think you need to see these numbers and know how to invest, because if you don't, I'm telling you, you are missing out on massive opportunity. Work smarter, not harder. You can go out, you can side hustle, you can make extra money. That's great. But if you aren't allowing your money to grow, you're actually allowing it to shrink. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. Also consider subscribing to the channel to watch more side hustle content and maybe a little more personal finance content coming your way. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.